Good morning everybody and welcome to another Simply Made Saturday with me, Helen Armstrong from Panda Pop's Crafting Joyful Moments. Today I'm using the Turtley Awesome suite from Stampin' Up. This came out in, I want to say May last year, May 2025, and it's now on last chance. So because it was in our annual catalogue last year, it's now gone into our last chance, which means that it is reduced. So if you like these wonderful turtles, grab yourself a pack of paper and get crafting. Right, so I'm going to quickly show you the paper that I've used. I should have got it out. There we go. So this is the paper pack. It's called Turtley Cute. And it's 12 by 12 and it's got lots of different colours in. So some of the ones are Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Daffodil Delight, Darling Duckling, Flirty Flamingo, Pretty in Pink, lots of different colours. So this pack comes, if I remember rightly, with 12 pieces of paper, 2 of each piece. So this is the first one with a gardening theme and it's got a nice green stripe on the back. If you've got any musicians in your family, and that's got more of a turtle shell pattern. This is sort of a day out, I suppose. Again, a smaller turtle pattern on the back. This one is beach day, barbecue day, those that have got chefs among us or just dads who like barbecuing, and a bit more of a birthday theme one with this one. We've got some gorgeous Darling Duckling yellow on this one with the notes. I don't know whether you can really see that, but they've got music notes on the back. And then this is the sheet that I've actually used to cut out the backgrounds for the cards today. So you get 2 sheets of this one. I've actually used one of these. There's one in the box, and on the back of that one is spots. Okay, so technically you could quite easily make 8 of these cards that I'm making today just by using the 2 background sheets and some cutouts. Right, okay, so let's get started. So the first one I did, I'm just going to get the bits that I need. I need an inside, and don't forget my starfish, and I need a bit for my sentiment. So okay, I'll push the rest to one side. I'm just going to use those in a little while. So the first thing I've done is I have got some Daffodil Delight card, and I'm going to mat and layer this beach scene on the back. So again, it is quite simple to do, hence it's on my Simply Made Saturday playlist. Yeah, it shouldn't, the fussy cutting and the cutting out, the set does come with dies, but I literally just sat watching television last night, fussy cutting all these bits out. It didn't take me long. And what happened was I wasn't really enamoured with the turtles when they came out last year, and it's been sat on my shelf not being used. And then when it went into last chance on Stampin' Up's website, I just thought, right, let's get it out and let's have another play to see what's happening, just to see whether I can whether I like it really. Anyway, so as I was fussy cooking out, these little fun turtles started to catch my eye. This is my favourite. I don't know whether you can really see it, but it's my favourite. Oh, out of shot. Yeah, this is my favourite. This is the, he's obviously wearing a life ring, and it's great for this seaside card. And we've got our little beach ball. We've got our crab that's going to go across the sand. Starfish. And also another starfish. If you do hear some noise in the background, it's just the rest of my family getting ready to start their day, so I do apologise if you do hear that. I'm trying to decide whether we do need another turtle. Do we have him sat with his ice cream? Do we get rid of the beach ball? Oh, I can't really decide. I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see. I can't really decide what I want to do. Anyway, let's start sticking and then we'll decide. Okay, so first of all, I am going to stick him down because he's my favourite. He's my absolute favourite. So I'm just going to use some dimensionals to stick him down, just to give him a little bit of height from the card. Oh, backing you don't need. Okay, so he's just going to perch there. I think is perfect. Do we want to put a dimensional on our crab? Possibly. Let's have a look. Because he wants to be scuttling across, doesn't he? Not going to layer my... I'm going to layer those. I'm not going to put dimensionals on. Now we have to decide. Are we just having our beach ball? Is he having a fun time on his own or is he with his mates? Oh. You know what? I quite like the layering of the beach ball and our turtle with his ice cream. So I'm going to put my beach ball down. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to stick my turtle with his ice cream, I think. So as I say, once you get all the bits cut out, it doesn't take long at all to build the card. Okay. So he's leaning up against the beach ball, which looks quite nice. And then let's just stick our starfish down. These starfish are also on that designer series paper that I showed you. And I just trimmed round. So we've got strawberry slush, starfish. I do love that colour. And we've also got our darling duckling. So I'm just going to layer over the top there. Okay, so the next thing we need is our sentiment. So I'm going to just move that up so you can see the sentiment piece that we've got. I'm going to use Sending Smiles, I think, and I'm going to just see if I can arch it a little bit and get it to stick. Okay, and I'm using our Secret Sea to stamp. It is my favourite thing to stamp with at the moment, the favourite colour. Oh, I didn't do that very well, did I? I think it's because it was going over the card. Let's flip it over. That's better. Okay. I just realised there was nothing in frame there. Let's come back a bit. Okay, so you can now see we've got the bits now at our table. I'm now going to be just quickly fussy cutting around this. Just grab my scissors. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to quickly fussy cut round. So as I say, if you do hear any noises in the background, it is just my family getting ready to start their day. My husband has just come into the room tiptoeing in is to not to make any noise as much as possible. Okay, I'm just going to quickly fussy cut round. Yeah, so don't be, what you can do with our stamps is, with a polymer stamp, you can, oh, lost my train of thought there. You can bend them They don't always have to be straight, hence that's what I've done here. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put it over here above. Yeah, that looks great. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to it. You can use our smaller dimensionals. Just put 4. Yeah, so as you saw, I made a mistake when I was stamping. Please don't ever just get rid of that piece. Turn it over and you can re-stamp it because nobody sees the background, the back of it. Okay, right, very happy with that. And now we're going to do the inside. So I'm going to stick my card in. Trying to make sure it's got an even border all the way around. It's very difficult to do when you're on camera. So it's Easter weekend in the UK here, and I presume the rest of the world. Yeah, what are you all doing for your Easter? We're having a bit of a chilled Easter weekend, which is nice. We went out for coffee yesterday, went to a garden centre, bought a couple of new plants to brighten up the front of our garden, and that was basically it yesterday for us. And I did some crafting, my favourite pastime. Okay, so that's our first card, and we're going to quickly move on to the next one. I may only just do 2 on this video because otherwise the video may be quite long. Okay, so this time I've got use the background sheet again, and I've got our turtle on his bike this time. Not as many bits to stick on, just 2 I think I decided with this one. So just layering up, making sure that's quite a bit straight. I just realised my card is not straight, but I can trim that. Okay, so this time we're just going to layer our, he's on his bike, he's gone for a bike ride. He's off to see his friends, that's what I'm thinking. So we're going to use our big dimensionals to layer this one up. What we don't want is our turtle to have a dimensional sticking out of his head though. That's better. My hands have now got a little bit of glue, so the dimensional backings are sticking to my fingers. Okay, so we're sticking our turtle down, and that is basically it for that card. I'm going to use, I think, one of the sentiments from here. So we've got, it's okay to take it slow, here for you always, happy birthday, hooray. I'm going to use the hooray. And then I'm going to have a stamp, hope your birthday is totally awesome. In the middle, I think. Right, so. This one I'm just going to trim. Here and here, and then I'm just going to do a snip in the middle. And a snip at each side to that middle mark. Cut into it. Okay. Make sure we don't get any bits. I'm going to actually just trim it down slightly at the top. It's slightly too big for what I want it for. So I'm just eyeballing this. Obviously you would take a little bit extra time when you're cutting this. In fact, I am going to fussy cut around it because I've made a pig's ear, as my mum would have said, of that. Never understood where that saying came from. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that actually. Without it's not as stark as having a full white background. I'm just putting some dimensionals on to lift it. Okay, and then that's just, can I actually have it that way? Hooray. And let's open it up, stick our inside in. So once you've actually cut all your bits out and decided what you're going to do, it is quite quick to put all these things together. It doesn't take long at all. So with this particular one, to make 8 cards, it would maybe take, I would say, an hour and a half maximum, which is not long at all really for 8 cards. Okay, let's get the, hope your birthday is totally awesome. And I'm just going to season this because I don't think I've actually used this stamp set. That is shocking, isn't it? I don't think I've actually used it to this particular stamp. Okay, happy with that, absolutely. So there's our second card. So currently we've got this one and we've got this one. Yep. But what I'm not gonna go through the other cards, but what I would do is if I wanted to add a bit of bling, I could do, we've got these lovely hexagons, which are shades of green hexagons, which came with this set. So I might actually just put, not on that one, I'm going to put it on these ones, I think. And then what I'll do is I'll show you the front of the card of the other ones, how I would layer them. But I'm not actually going to make it because otherwise the video is going to be far too long. And you get the idea. Okay, so I've got our hexagons on there just for a little bit of bling. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one that I would have put together. So this is a picnic scene. And these lovely turtles are meeting up or to surprise the individual for their birthday. I would layer those, but I would layer them one on top of another. So you've got a little bit of thing going on, and then we've got a person here with the present at the front. And you could even put the little basket on if you wanted to show that they're having a picnic. The other one I was thinking about doing with this particular scene was adding our beekeeper with the picnic basket. He's just gone and got his honey and he's very happy. So that would be that one. And the last one is our musicians. So we have an accordion player, we have somebody with a banjo, I think it's a banjo, and then we have somebody with a turtle with a trumpet. So that would be all I would do, would just be to layer them like that, and you could put your sentiment along the bottom. Okay, and you know me, a card is not finished without its envelope. So I've also cut some of this paper and I'm going to just quickly do the envelope. So I'm just going to add some glue to the flap. I'm going to quickly grab my bone folder. Because what I want to do when I add this to the front, to that, I'm adding it on that line, and then I'm just going to spread out my glue using the bone folder. And then turn it over. Trim off the excess. But what do I always say? Please keep all your little bits that you trim off. You never know when you may want to use a tiny little bit, especially with this paper, it's so gorgeous. So as I say, this was not something that I was, let's just say, enamoured with when it came out. I got it because I just thought it might make some nice birthday cards. And then I've actually not used it, which is shocking. So yeah. But as I said, yeah, as I was cutting out these turtles yesterday, I did have a bit of a smile on my face. So they have created a little bit of fun. And I, you know, the card, that if somebody receives this card, I hope they would also smile when they receive it. All right, well, that's me. That's another sharing Saturday, Simply Made Saturday over with for this week. I hope you enjoyed what I've done. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really helps me making these videos. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and always remember, craft your joy.